4 years ago I put up a series of vids explaining the battery bank and the inverter setup and generator system that I put into my house as part of my prepping plans. And I still laugh recalling all the warnings and naysayers and safety sallies, that the amount of energy that was spent on warning label advice was incredible. Let me put it to you that way. To the point where that was part of the reason of just starting to take these down instead of listening to this same crap over and over. You know, I live in a warning label reading world, that's obvious. And the reason why we have so many warning labels and obvious warning labels is because we obviously live in a world of idiots. And it's quickly getting worse, but it's especially true on YouTube, where, you know, being able to read warning labels and giving out safety sally advice or living a Chicken Little advice is actually equated as wisdom in this world today. It's just the opposite to me, but it's actually equated with wisdom. Fear is wisdom. Being able to worry about nothing is wisdom on YouTube. I think of it more as Proverbs 18, where a fool finds no pleasure in understanding but only delights in airing his own opinion. Well, here's the proof of my opinion. Out of all the warnings I got for not building a box around my batteries, and I wired it in myself without getting a union electrician, and all the warnings that I got over these batteries, here's the proof. 5 years later, no explosions, no fires, works great. Here's the proof. Here's my opinion. And that's really always been the point of my channel. Here's what I'm doing. Here's how I do it. Here's what works. Here's the proof. You know, my only real regret, my one regret from posting on YouTube is connecting myself or getting involved with the prepper community. The whole prepper, patriot, truther thing, whatever they call themselves. It is my #1 regret. In fact, the patriots, preppers, truthers, they're a tool for the enemy and have been for a while. And they don't need to hire anybody. They've got plenty of volunteers to bring it to that level. Now, I could make up one hell of a long rant video based on I told you so's, using videos that I still have up and videos like the battery bank that I've taken down. I could fill it all full of syrupy snarkiness. I love to do stuff like that. And all I have to do is tell the truth. Because the truth withstands everything. All I have to do is wait. Time is on my side. And telling the truth really tends to piss people off that are pretending and living in fantasy worlds on YouTube. And I love pissing those people off more so than most people. But I'm not going to spend my time doing that here today. The truth doesn't need my help anyway. It's going to be there no matter what. And I'm really not trying to find that audience. I'm trying to find people of like-mindedness that I can share these things with. If you've been watching my channel long enough, I don't have to prove anymore that I'm not here for a popularity contest. I'm not here to pay my bills through YouTube. I'm not here to become Lord of the Flies and get as many idiot subs as I possibly can. I'm looking for people of like-mindedness that I can share things in common with because of what's happening in the world today. I'm trying to find a little place of peace and truth in the world here on YouTube. And I'm definitely willing to fight for that. I won't hesitate to block idiots and asshats right off my channel because I really don't want or need their sub. I don't have to worry about padding my retirement with their AdSense money. And that brings me up to the main point of this vid. And I promised myself a while back that I wasn't going to wade into this anymore. And I was going to try to stay out of this, but I have to say my piece about this. This is a still shot from the BUNDY Ranch out in Nevada. Confrontation between BLM, federal officers, and civilians. If you're not familiar with what's happening out at the BUNDY Ranch in Nevada, you should stop watching this vid and start researching what's happening right now. Because I'm very disturbed by it. I'm watching it closely, and I believe, unfortunately, this is the future of what we're going to have to face in this country. I'm showing you this particular screenshot because if we stand any chance of turning things around in this country, if we stand any chance which I will admit to you, I think the chances are few. And the chances of success is low. But if we stand any chance, this is how it's going to be fought. If we stand any chance of even waking up our law enforcement and stopping the militarization of law enforcement, this is how it's going to be done. These people are it. This is what we need. What do you see here? See guys in cowboy boots, tennis shoes, t-shirts, ball caps, everyday middle-class Americans. These people are you and I. They're not nutcases, whack jobs. They're just you and I, facing down dogs and guns and military. These are the scenes like this, that are going to wake up other Americans, if it's possible. They're going to have to see themselves in these people. I can see me in this picture. This could be me next. And that's what the average American needs to see, is other Americans like this under fire. I want to give a word out, or a few words out, to the other side of this picture as well. And I can't tell you how disturbing this is. And it should be to you law enforcement personnel as well. I mean, what are they paying you to do this? What are they telling you? How are they training you to act like this towards the citizens that you're charged with protecting? After all, this is federal land. This is their land. Guys, what is happening? Do you not see how disgusting this is, and that you are on the wrong side? I'm not saying the law doesn't matter, because we are a nation of laws. But why are you reacting this way? How are they getting you to react this way? Because let me tell you something. You are one step away from this. This is a picture from the 1940s. That's a Nazi soldier. And that is a mother with her back turned to the soldier holding her baby. And I'm not trying to be dramatic, but you are one step away from this. These guys were the same way. Their government was telling them to do the same thing. You have to recognize where you are and what is happening. And that it's not right. Now, I do know the full story with Mr. Bundy. I do know that he is not on the right side of the law currently with this. I know that he has 2 legal orders issued from courts against him. But that's not what this is about. That's not the points that I'm trying to make here. Guys, think about what you're doing here. What could possibly make you act this way? You're trying to collect a debt owed to the federal government, bringing guns, tasering people, sicking your dogs on people, knocking women down, shooting animals, this man's property in the desert, destroying his property, running them down, causing heat exhaustion with helicopters. How much money is the government spending to collect this debt? What are you doing? If this seems right to you, what has happened to you? You could get this guy coming in town to get a quart of milk. You could simply arrest him. He's a 60-some-year-old man. Do you really need to do it this way? You could put a lien on his property. You could put a lien on his cattle. Why? I have to ask you, and I think more importantly, you should be asking yourself, why are you doing this? Why do you think this is right? Who are you doing this for? What happened to you if you think this is right? That this is complete overreach. This is how dangerous this giant monstrosity that our federal government has become. They own over 80% of the land in Nevada. And I blame the people of Nevada for that. Why is Harry Reid representing your state? That's another thing. He didn't rig the elections. Some people love to go and lean on that and always throw that out there. Harry Reid was elected by the people. And he's calling these people domestic terrorists. That's you and I. And he's elected time and time again. So is the county sheriff that is backing these guys up and not doing anything. He's an elected official. The people are really responsible for what is happening right now at the Bundy Ranch. They've let it go this far. The people are responsible for the federal government. Obama was and is freely elected. That's the part that scares me the most, that our culture has gone too far. It's too far gone to save. I blame every one of you that voted for Harry Reid and other people like him. I blame every one of you that voted for Obama. I blame the people that keep taking welfare, that live on the government plantation. You're feeding this monster because you want more. That's the lie of communism and socialism. Free this, free that, free health care, free money, free checks, free cell phones. Just a little help, except that it's taken from somebody else by a bully government and given to you. I blame all of you for feeding and growing this monster. Mr. Bundy, in fact, on this subject was just labeled as a racist for making some analogy, although I do think it was a poor analogy, saying comparing the blacks during the times of slavery. Are they better off now because they're on welfare? And I have said similar things on my channel many times in comments and even in videos, and I just didn't bring up skin color. It's anybody that's trapped in the welfare system is a slave. You're a slave to the system. You're being kept on the government plantation. And I do believe for the most part that's what Mr. Bundy was trying to say. Because it's not just people with black skin or brown skin or green skin. It's people with white skin that are on welfare as well, all getting trapped. In fact, if it wasn't for white people and their votes, Obama wouldn't be president right now. Your government wants to be your master. It wants to be your master. It wants to, promise you to tuck you into bed and give you cookies and milk. You have to stand up on your own, or you are going to be a slave to it. Now, before I go off on a tangent, I could go on for hours about that. Let me say it one more time. What you see here, what you see right here, that's how we're going to win. That is the only way we stand a chance, I should say. It's got to be like that. That's you and me right there. Now I'm going to show you where we went wrong. This is where it all went wrong. This is how they are going to win as well. See, the first pic I showed you, we all could recognize who they were. They were our neighbors. They were us. This is not me. Mainstream America is going to see this as a bunch of whack jobs and nutcases. And that's exactly how the government wants to portray you. Americans will watch this on TV as part of an after-dinner waste of time, just like they watch the Iraq and Afghanistan war and all the little skirmishes we have all over the world going on. And they're not going to care. They'll move on to American Idol right after they switch the channel. This is where it all goes wrong with the pretenders, the wannabes, the guys playing G.I. Joe. There are vids that I have up, many of them, going over who these guys are. You can go and watch my vid, A Patriot in Exile. That explains a lot. You can go watch Who's Hoping for an SHTF or WROL. All these guys rushing out there. And how many are there? Oh, they think there's hundreds of thousands of them. How many can they really get out there? A few hundred? I don't think they ever broke 1,000 people out there. I saw a film vid yesterday of one of the militia talking about shooting an oath keeper in the back because they were traitors. This is the kind of talk. I mean, they're just feeding them, feeding the press the kind of stuff they want to hear. These kinds of picks for the mainstream media and the federal government are frickin' priceless. This is exactly how they want to portray everyone. This is how they're going to, even though these guys are clearly the minority, they can't get anybody to come out there. And it's everything I've been saying. All they got is guns and cheap crap, you know, that they buy online or whatever prepping patriot YouTube channel is trying to sell. They don't have any of the stuff you need, like tentage and other equipment that's much more important. Because all of a sudden, you know, when they were a private in the military, they're now realizing they don't have an entire military to support them. All they got is their guns, which they just, you know, it's like worshiping their guns. They think that's all they need. They'll just live on beef jerky. This is maddening to me because it ruins everything. It discredits everything. I'm not going to go into how many video clips and pics I've seen of guys that couldn't walk 50 yards out in the desert. I'm not even going to go there because you guys already know how I feel about that, the kind of shape they're in. It's a joke. And I'm not going to say that there aren't some guys out there that really have their heart in it and have their hearts in the right place, but you're totally getting washed away with the guys around you. You're the joke as well because of who you're standing with. And there's a lot of guys out there that are just doing this for peacock reasons. They're going out there for a couple days just to make more AdSense or get more thumbs up and keep the high schoolers on their channel happy. That's why they're going out. To them, it's a business, and it's all about how they look. And my main point to this is the original shot that I showed you of what Americans really look like. The moms and pops, mainstream America, in their t-shirts, cowboy boots, and tennis shoes, and work boots. They turned around the feds. They turned those guys back. Not these guys. Not these guys. And they did it without a gun in their hand. That's the point. And it's got to be that way first, because the feds want these guys to pull the trigger first. That's what they want. That's what they want out of this. And now it's more of a danger than any other time, because the people in the t-shirts and the tennis shoes are gone, and these guys are the only guys out there, and the feds know it. And the more days they wait, the more chances of one of these guys getting in a fight. They're already talking about shooting each other in the back and talking big. I mean, if somebody told me that, I don't know how that would play out for me. That's one of those things you got to say to somebody's face. I mean, it just makes me mad thinking about it. Half these guys are so full of it, it's unreal. They're playing. That's what wiped out prepping as well. And that is what's ruining the chances for anything good coming out of the Bundy Ranch situation. I don't know. That's my 2 cents anyway. And I'm going to end it there. I don't know. I could just rant on. I'm just going to end it. You know, I've been saying this for 4 years. I've got videos up going over exactly what I thought these guys were all about. And to me, it's showing what these guys are all about right out at the Bundy Ranch. Only this time it's really hurting. Because it's not just prepping. These guys are providing unlimited resources for the mainstream media to paint everyone the way they want to, the way they want to portray us. And with the shootings almost happening on a weekly basis, you know, vets coming back all messed up, shooting people up. Yesterday was the FedEx shooting. I don't know. Maybe it's too late. There's too many of them voting for the Harry Reids and the Obamas. And there's too many of these guys volunteering to make us look like idiots. It may be too late. I don't know. And I'll tell you guys, there's a part of me that thinks that we got this coming. That this is judgment. And that it's just beginning. Because we've been sending our military all over the world for decades, including myself, to shoot up and destroy property in third world crap holes all over the place. All kinds of BUNDY ranches all over the place, all over the world that we've been doing this. While we sit home here and wave our little flags and eat our apple pie. We call it spreading democracy and protecting freedom, home of the brave. We've been doing the same thing to all kinds of BUNDY ranches all over the world for decades, serving this government. See you guys.